Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I won't keep it too long. I'm Thomas Clarkson-Williams. I'm the Highways Asset Manager at Birmingham City Council. I've got some notes. I was told that Birmingham City Council has been quiet for a while, so this gave us some impetus to come and tell people what's happening in Birmingham. So I'm here to tell you about what we did during our interim investment program. As you may be aware, we have a PFI dealing with our works, but obviously we had an interim period. So I'm here just to give you a brief about what happened during that interim period and how we used collaboration, skills, innovation to deliver our activities. Before I do that, I'll probably just skip through this quickly. Just show you the demands that we have in Birmingham. Just a big, very large city with loads and loads of elected members, and everybody wants to do the best in their patch. And obviously, we generate a lot of traffic because we're in the center of West Midlands. And we all have all the drivers as well for generation of traffic, which increases the vehicles that we have on our road network. Also, we have a big city plan, which was initiated in 2010. And this is creating a lot of investments in the city. And obviously, HS2, which luckily for us, has kept us in the HS2 frame. We have an HS2 hub, which is increasing HTVs from construction traffic on our network. Obviously, that's our asset stock. I won't bother you too much on that. But basically, our highways, as I said, is being delivered through a PFI arrangement, which started in 2010. Fortunately or unfortunately, that's my view, there was a dispute which meant that we had to review our delivery mechanisms. We are the client, and obviously the PFI service provider, which the contract is still on, but we had to sort of have an interim contractor to deal with the routine and reactive bit, whilst we moved on to deliver the other aspects through other means. Basically, we had the routine and the planned maintenance, but generally we deal with all assets like all the councils. And basically, we tried to make sure that we have a contract that deals with the key bits in different clauses. I'll just briefly just go through this. Obviously, these are the main activities that we carry out. However, in 2019, when the dispute was resolved, these four activities here had to sort of be split up, and the interim service contract dealt with the last three, and the first one, the plant maintenance, had to come in-house, and I don't have a big team, and suddenly everything was put on my lap. So I had to start and organize ways and means to get it done. Incidentally, I am not the manager of the contract. There is a separate assets, sausages and hostages. There is a separate contract management team that deals with the implementation of the contract. My role is to ensure that the technical bits and the policies and strategies that the contractor is carrying out are being carried out in the manner I want it to be carried out, whilst the contract management team ensures that it is done within the time frames and all that, KPIs and stuff like that. So as I said, in 2019, we resolved the dispute, and as part of that dispute, we were told to quickly address some of the roads that we couldn't get done during the PFI due to many reasons, which could be, I don't know, was it the contract? Was it the attitude of both client and contractor? Who knows? But so we quickly came up with some schemes in November 2020 with our stakeholders, so that we can get these roads that really caused some of the disputes that we had. And whilst that was being done, I was told that we need to do a bigger program, and we had what we call the RWP1, which is Interim Works Program. I was told that we'll have to do one program in preparation for the reprocurement. As you all know, sometimes local authority organizations, 1 year to deliver some stuff, sometimes not enough. So that meant that we had to increase the time frame for the reprocurement of the contract, and that meant as well that another program was given to me. Well, another sum of money was given to me. Sorry, that should say 40 million. So another 40 million was given to me in October to ensure that I prepared the network for the Commonwealth Games. I've never been through such a stressful time, trying to make sure that things were done in the manner we wanted it done because of the visitors we were going to have. At the end of the Commonwealth Games as well, we still were in the position of trying to procure the contract, and obviously we had to agree on the condition of the network, and that led to another 40 million given to me to undertake works on the network to make sure that we have a baseline for delivering the PFI contract. So, in brief, the money I was given was focused on surfacing. And as I said, the 1 year became 3 years, and we dealt with 594 schemes comprising of 355 carriageways and 239 footway schemes. I'll come to that later on. We had a carbon savings of 7,000 tons, and we had over 4.6 million in efficiencies through our collaboration. I'll talk about that later. But obviously, in this program, even though we started with 1 year, which was difficult for us to implement some of the long-term initiatives that we had, we still focused on trying to use innovative materials as well as techniques that would help us deliver the issues we had on our network. Governance was key. In every collaboration, you need to make sure that you have a view of everything that's happening to ensure that the contractors and people involved are talking to each other. If you leave them on their own, everybody will take the stance they want to take to deliver the bit that they have to deliver. So we ensure that there are regular meetings, monthly meetings from every level, and it was really stressful for my part, because being the asset manager with a small team, I was moving from meeting to meeting until I was able to get support. So with the initiative to get the programs in place, because we didn't have a team in-house, and because we relied on a PFI contractor, we had to split up the contractors that the PFI team had, and ensure that they were able to deliver on our side. We had contracts that were innovated and stuff like that, but we progressed as we thought it fit, ensuring that we had all the relevant parties in place. We had Kieran as the principal contractor. We had Tarmac as the key contractor. We had Arcadis as a principal designer, HTM as our traffic manager, and we had WJ as the road marking contractor. We had other small contractors delivering other bits and stuff, but this was the team that was responsible for delivering the surfacing aspect of the PFI, of the Interim Works Program. We developed this alliance, and we said, had leadership teams, operational leads. Well, key to delivery of this program was the setting up of task and finish groups. Obviously, as a city, we wanted to make sure that health and safety was key, and that was led between myself and BHL. BHL are the service providers, because the PFO was still on and had to use their staff to deliver stuff. And then we had an efficiencies and measurement group. And then we had sustainability, which is one of the key things that we used to develop the collaboration, innovation, as well as customer satisfaction. But we also had a customer team as well that picked up the metrics that we needed to carry out. In all of this, risk is key. Understanding what the risks are. So we had a separate manager for picking up all the risks across every activity stream, and that was managed by Arcadis. And the communications lead was led by Kier, because then we needed to make sure that people were given the right information at any point in time, particularly those the road users. I'll quickly run through this. We have the aims, which was set up quickly when we started up with a quick workshop, and we ensured that we used the principles from the ISO 44001, I think, yeah, that's it. And we had a brainstorming session, and we all agreed that at the end of the program, the customers should be satisfied. And obviously, I want to make sure that safety was key for road users and workers. Everything else around the main satisfaction of the customers was what we agreed are the issues that we need to address. Particularly, we looked at circular economy. But in all of this, we wanted to make sure that we supported each other. I mean, everybody had to put something in to advise the next person to ensure that we were able to deliver on our aims and objectives. And we used the aims and to deliver key objectives. But to cut a long story short, this ensured that we were able to address the resolution of issues and small disputes that we had in the delivery process. But obviously, it meant that we had enough information from every sector to make the decisions that we wanted to make. Obviously, this meant that we had to make sure that everybody trusted and respected each other. In all of this, we saw that in the integrated delivery to a one team, one effort approach meant that we had to look at the other things that we didn't think about, the issues of antisocial behavior. This led to an initiative called the Expect Respect, and that campaign was led by Kier to ensure that the incidents against road workers was put at the fore. Because if I have people working in my patch, they've left their homes to come and work in my city, and needed to make sure that they went back home to their wife and kids in the manner they came. So we made sure that across the work streams, workers were protected. We had several initiatives, from use of QR codes, cards, and ensuring that we had proper traffic management and all that stuff to ensure that the workers were protected. So I'm sure you'll hear more about the Expect Respect in the awards that we have later on. Now, the collaboration was not only between the teams delivering the RWP works. We had collaboration with other external teams in the city, housing and all that stuff, but also other parties working on the network. For example, we collaborated with TLWM, Transport for West Midlands, where we made a savings of about £510,000 just because they were working on the network, we were working on another part of the network. We take your schemes, you take ours, and we blended the works, and we saved £500,000 just with them. And we did the same with small other teams in the other parties in the other network. Probably just roll through this quickly. We did had some collaborative efforts with us University, looking at portfolio projection. University of Birmingham, looking at winter maintenance. But all this was because of our aim for sustainability, which is about the climate emergency declaration that we had. And all of this, every activity that we did, they needed to tell me how we were bringing down the carbon footprint. Obviously, I can't tell. I'm sure all of you have similar things in your patch, but this led to innovative objectives on every part of the service, from inspection to maintenance or delivery. I saw that chart somewhere, and I decided to adopt it. However, the many innovation initiatives that we had, not all of them were implemented. But the sustainability group was able to ensure that we trialed as much as we possibly can, because then I told everybody, you must trial, do something to demonstrate that this thing was fit for purpose, and we encouraged people from contractors or suppliers to tell us what innovation they have and to see whether we can try it on a network, and then and probably in a couple of years, we'll see how good it works out to be. So obviously, these were the key bits that we looked at on all the innovation we had on pavements, on techniques, materials, especially safety. Because of time, I can't probably to tell you all the things that we encountered. But if you need to know anything that might help you in your patch, please approach me and I'll tell you. This is some of the work that we have been doing through our contractor Care. And whilst they were doing this, and we were doing the plain maintenance, we ensured that there were efficiencies that we could gather, and we saved £4.6 million in efficiencies that made sure that we were collaborating and sharing skills to make sure that what needed to be done was done with the best interest of the city. Now, with all of this, one of the key things that we had in our collaboration was to make sure we celebrate people. And then another one was to make sure that we told the industry what we were doing as well. And obviously that meant that we were shortlisted for some awards. We had several awards, but key among them for me as the asset manager, which was the National Awards for Decarbonisation. And I think in driving decarbonization, it means that all of us have to put our hands on the wheel. It means having proper collaboration efforts in place to ensure that not one person has the burden, and that one person may not know everything about it. So you need other players to come in and demonstrate that this thing can sort of keep the climate change challenge at the right level that it needs to be in. With that, I can probably just say thank you for inviting me to speak. And if anybody has anything they want to discuss with me about what we've done in Birmingham, please let me know, and I can give you an update on where we are on the BFI contract. Thank you very much.